everybody. As 2024 is coming to a close, I just wanted to reminisce about all the shows and movies that I watched this year. And instead of doing it in a normal manner where I'm like, oh yeah, I watched this movie, that's what I liked, I made a tier list. So let's rank all the shows and movies that I watched this year. Next, another character with DID on this list, we have Split. Now, this included the next five movies have James McAvoy in it, and I gotta say, bro, I love James. He's a great actor, but always hit him with the butt. Um, I actually liked it, but at the end, I was like, okay, yeah, this is fictional. Like I really liked it, but then it turned out to be fictional. I could have, I wouldn't. If you had told me before the ending that all of this happened in real life, I wouldn't have been that shocked. But then the ending happened, and like he actually became an animal. I was like, huh? Um. So because of that, I not gonna put it on top. It's gonna go into amazing because I actually did really enjoy it. But yeah, oh my god. Speaking of James McAvoy, speaking of speaking of James McAvoy, speak no evil. Um, I low-key hated that movie. Okay, he's a great actor, and that's what makes it worse. Like everyone did their part so well. The second-hand embarrassment I was getting, oh my god. Um, I couldn't even get through like half of the movie after that whole uh like at first I was already getting such bad secondhand embarrassment when he was literally beating his kid up, but then he also just uh the whole table scene, and then he had the audacity to tell the other people to pay the bill. Nah, mm-mm, mm-mm, no. What a psychopath. Oh god. So next up, we have X-Men. So a few days ago, someone was like, "Oh my gosh, what did you want to be as a child when you grew up?" And I'm like, I still want to be that, and that is Wolverine because duh. Um, just imagine going out on a walk at night, and even if someone follows you or tries to like capture you or something, you just be like, bam, and like I'm not a psychopath for thinking this way, um, but like you can injure someone. I don't know if YouTube will even allow me to say that. Um, but yeah, and also, uh, the regenerative powers, he can't even get sick or something. So, you bet I'm gonna try to like drink up something like a poison or something. I'm just gonna be like, oh, rat killing medicine. I don't know. I, I never had rat problem. Oh, sorry. But the only thing I will say is they did not give Peter enough time, like enough screen time. So it's not gonna be number one for me. Sorry, not sorry. But even though I love these X-Men movies were all except Wolverine and uh, Days of Future Past. But coming back to it, I loved all of them. Okay, I loved all of them. But one thing that I did not love the Wolverine. What was that movie? Because I don't know why. Actually, I have no idea why, but I was low-key uncomfortable watching that movie. And, I don't know. I was uncomfortable and I did not like that. Oh my god, why can I? Oh, okay, it's going beneath the other X-Men movies. But one thing that is not gonna be beneath, because it's always gonna be on top, is X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm already gonna put it there because I freaking love that movie. As I said before, I love Quicksilver, okay? And it was a great movie. Um, it had both set of actors for Charles and Eric, and I really love that. Also, you can say all you want about Cherk not being canon. I don't care if they're canon or not. The way both set of actors are always playing into it, oh my gosh. And also that one scene of all four of them being in the Pentagon and Charles are, Eric and Eric are fighting, but Quicksilver in the back is like, that scene is gonna be my favorite scene ever. Um, and also, okay, wait, I forgot to mention this. I don't know why people don't like Apocalypse, because I was in the comment of an X-Men edit video on TikTok, and people were like, "Ooh, ew, Apocalypse." It's like Apocalypse was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Actually, I have not watched Dark Phoenix. I forgot. What is going on? I forgot to mention that I have not watched X-Men Dark Phoenix. Uh, so yeah. Um, but come back to Apocalypse. I did enjoy Apocalypse a lot. Again, with the whole Cherry not being slash not being canon, I don't really care. Um, but it's funny to me how the reason why Eric ended up helping the the X-Men is because he saw a cherry edit in his mind. Um, okay, let's just move on. Um, oh my gosh, this is gonna make me mad. As I mentioned before, I grew up watching X-Men movies, and even though I did watch more of Avengers, I liked more of X-Men. So when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, I kid you not, I actually thought, the heck is this thing? Because I don't remember movies being so theatrical. I don't know how to describe it, but it was not how I always thought of the X-Men movies, because before going in I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna have the OG seriousness that Wolverine and his movies have, but with the funny, hilarious jokes of Deadpool." But it turns out it was entirely Deadpool. So, mm. And for that, I wanted to give it what is this? I wanted to put it in that tier, but then I was like, the casting was good. I really liked the casting and um the characters. So that is the only redeeming quality it has. And so I'm gonna put it right next to the Wolverine. Okay, next one. Saltburn. I don't know if I watched it this year. Like, if I did watch it this year, it's probably like very early on in January, like the first week or something, or it's last year's December. Um, but mm, yes, It's a messed up movie, but here's what I like. The long game that what's his name? Oliver or something. I think his name is Oliver. But the long game that he played to get the property. It's kind of iconic, I fear. It is kind of iconic. And just for that, I forgot what the plot was even about, okay? I forgot what the plot was about. But it was the plotting was there. So yeah, I actually did kind of thought it was iconic. That's why it's not going in. No, just no. Next up, okay, so the few that are left, they have some of my favorite things ever. Um, so we're gonna tread carefully. So starting with Three Body Problem. I am patiently waiting for season two. Okay, I am patiently waiting for season two. Maybe not that patient. Maybe not that patiently, but I'm waiting for season two. I watched it with my brother. I actually watched it first myself, but then I was like, oh, I don't really understand it. But then my brother was like, oh my gosh, have you watched Three Body Problem? I'm like, oh, I started it, but then I couldn't. And then I was like, oh my gosh, let's watch it together. And so we watched it together, and I had a lot of fun. Okay, it had it all. It had action. It had romance. It had sci-fi, and we're not gonna forget it had Lana Del Rey playing in the background while bro literally goes to buy a whole planet or a star or whatever for his friend that he has had a crush on since forever. And because I am waiting for season two, I'm gonna put it in amazing for. Uh, where do I want to put it? Okay, I'll put it in amazing. Um, if you guys like, if you any of you have any like objections or anything, tell me in the comments. But yeah, next we have the Maze Runner. Mm, mm, um, amazing movies. Okay, amazing movies. I loved it. But the only reason it's not gonna be at the very top is because they nerfed Newt, and I will not forgive them. And if you have not watched The Maze Runner, go watch it. Oh my gosh, I just realized I don't think I have Ready Player One or Interstellar because I watched both of them. Well, not the first time, but since learning and understanding English for the first time this year. And uh, okay, if I had both of them, it would be on top, okay? Um, that's where I would put them. But moving on, we have My Fault. I know Your Fault came out, but I have not yet watched it, so we're just gonna be doing My Fault. And the reason why I watched it was because it was all over my Insta feed. Oh my gosh, the look of regret in his expression. And it's like, okay, like I understand what he did was bad. I'm not saying that it wasn't bad. But whenever I see something like that of um any kind of celebrity, especially if it's an actor, just looking like their expression is like the audience is really loving their expression, I kind of don't believe it because they're media trained. They could just be acting, and actors are good at acting. So I don't believe that, but I really love that the girl. I don't know why I want to say her name is Rebecca. I don't think her name is Rebecca. We're gonna search up, and I want to give where credit is due. Her name is Nicole. Um, so Nicole, props to her for standing up for herself, and especially in the show business industry where it's like if someone says something bad about you, that quite literally is the end of your career. I love that she didn't let that keep her down, and she came back even better, I'm sure. Cause I was watching the whole like uh them promoting the movie and her singing Sabrina Carpenter too, and she was having the time of her life, and I hope she continues to be happy in her life. Props to her. But yeah, that was the reason for watching the movie. Now, the movie itself, like, it was well made. It was well made. But w- what was it even about? Because, okay, we're gonna shut down the computer for now. Listen, first of all, they were siblings, okay? But you wanna know the worst of all? Their age difference. She, no, we're not gonna start with her. He was like 22, 23, and she was just 17. My thoughts about being underaged and not having that 17 to 18 jump is because when you're 17, you're still like, oh my gosh, I still have one more year left. When you turn 18, in your head, like in your like you may not recognize it consciously, but in your unconscious mind, you do realize that you're more responsible. You're actually an adult now. And that whole like realization is very important for mental growth. So if someone hasn't had that yet, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I was feeling really bad about her upbringing and the things that she had faced. But that whole thing, like he should know better. He should know way better than that. Um, but also like the age difference, the relationship, like them being step siblings, and him being filthy rich. I could have guessed it was Wattpad, okay? I could have guessed that. I am not surprised. So, yeah, even though if it did not have any of the things that I had mentioned, it could have been an amazing. I usually don't watch a lot of romance because I find them all to be the same. I actually did enjoy it, just not the bad things about it. Next up, we have The Idol. Now, I hated it, okay? I just want to say I hated it. And I'm pretty sure I watched it last year. But the reason I'm gonna put it in 2024 is because I still got so much freaking content about this. And it is a bad show. So I just want to bring more attention towards it being a bad show. Um, Also, like, I have never heard of anything happening the way it happened in this show, and then like I remember the promos and everything being like it's what happens in the industry. And it's like I have never heard of that. In fact, I've always heard the opposite. And maybe if if it did had a woman producing, directing, whatever, maybe it could have been better because it was made from the female gaze. Um, it wasn't. It was just straight up bad. And yeah, it deserves jail, okay? It deserves to be locked away forever and forever forgotten. Um, let's move on to my comfort shows. Because next up we have Supernatural. Again, the way I did with Shawshank Redemption, if I were to make up a um a tier list with only one thing per spot, it unfortunately wouldn't be in my number one. It would be, but it would be my number two. Because the way I don't know what I'm saying. The type of shows that I like is that there is a big story going on, but each episode or like each two episodes, they're different too. That's why one of my other favorite shows is Hannibal because it has the main storyline, but it also has like different cases, and I really love that. And I really love Supernatural too, but there's just so many things that I just can't look forward to. And I'm even though I haven't completed it, I'm on season 12. I'm not thrilled about it because I got the spoilers probably in like season 1 and I was like, well, if they're gonna die, how are they gonna come back? And then season 2 happened with Sam and everything. And from then on I just stopped being surprised that they didn't die. And while we're on the subject of season 12, Mary came back, and I just want to say that she does get too much hate. Like, too much hate in the sense people are always saying it is her fault. She made a demon deal, and like, at all. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure they erased their memories, both John and Mary's, because um she did not remember why she had that angel statue thingy while she was pregnant with Dean, but she was like, oh, I think I'm familiar with it, whatever. So she didn't do a lot of the things knowingly. The one who I would maybe like say no to a little bit of the hate towards Mary. But you know who doesn't deserve any benefit of the doubt, any benefit at all, is that freaking John Winchester. I hope he is rotting in hell. And okay, I don't know if it's like actually said or not, but I don't think because I think it was Azazel, right? But the yellow-eyed demon, whatever. He was like, oh, when the righteous man becomes evil or whatever. Um, and he was like, oh, yeah, we were banking on your father to be that, but then it happened to be you. I don't think that he was telling the truth. I'm pretty sure he was lying because there's no way in no universe is John Winchester a righteous man. Okay, just no. So this is for now. Um, And then we have one of my favorite shows ever, Dun Dun Dun. I watched it because it was trending, and I was like, okay. And it turned out to be so, so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. And after watching it, I watched the, uh, not watched, but read the manga. The manga is so beautiful. If you have not read the manga, go read the manga. It is really beautiful, and I I cried at every single backstory. I am patiently waiting for Zuma. Zuma is he's such a ray of sunshine. Same thing with Vamola. Like even when she was introduced, I could not hate her. Like yeah, she was trying to be with Okarun, but I couldn't hate her. Um, but yeah, I've already rewatched it like 3 times because I watched it and then I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's, I want to watch it more. And then I watched it in the English dub, and the English dub is really, really good. Um, one of my favorite scenes is when Mokarun are saying bye to each other and they're like sayonara, sayonara. But like, and then in English they're doing the same, like different variations of goodbye, and then it turns out that they don't just want to say goodbye, and then Mo is like, "Oh, Carolyn, I'll see you tomorrow," and then Carolyn, in the cutest voice possible, is like, "Okay, um, yeah, my favorite." But yeah, that's my entire tier list. If you guys watched any of these shows, tell me what you guys thought about it, and I'll probably see you in the next video, and I'm gonna be making it about shows that I would recommend you watch in 2025, and the shows that I got recommended to watch that I will be watching in 2025. And with that, that is all for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!